Salt March or Satyagraha. The Salt March or Satyagraha is also known as Dandi March or white flowing movement in the Indian modern history of India. It is also known as Dandi Satyagraha or Dandi Yatra or civil disobedience movement by some historian. Why historian named Salt March differently? भिन्न भिन्नों से ऐतिहासिक सब कैसा एक ही मूवमेंट को नामकरण किया है. Historian named Salt March because Mahatma Gandhi, known as Bapu of India, marched from Sabarmati Ashram to sea coast named Dandi of Gujarat to disobey Salt Act of British government. So it is called Salt March. It is called Dandi Yatra because Mahatma Gandhi started his march from Sabarmati Ashram to Dandi with his 79 disciples. So it is called Dandi Yatra. Some historians also named it as white flowing movement because the listing followers of ashram of Gandhi were white dressed, so it is called white flowing movement. The movement is also called Satyagraha because it is based on truth and interest of people. The movement is called civil disobedience movement because the movement is planned either for disobey salt tax or land tax made by British government. So it is called civil disobedience movement. Planning for civil disobedience. Non-cooperation movement or Swaraj movement was the first phase training to proceed movement peace and non-violence way to India and after non-cooperation movement, Indian politicians plan to give the Indian second phase training against British government They plan to violate either salt tax or land tax made by government. This is this is called second phase training to Indians for self-government and sovereignty of India. The Working Committee of National Congress of India offer responsibility to Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi first wished to violate tax over necessary goods, which is very essential for Indians. So he first chose to violate the land salt tax. However, in some places the movement was for land tax. However, National Congress of India and Rajgopalachari, who became the governor of India, supported to choose to violate the salt tax. Training for movement. Mahatma Gandhi first well trained his disciple of ashram to proceed the movement peace and non-violence way. He selected his disciple of different states all over India. First, he chose 79 disciples to train for the movement. Planning for movement. दांडी यात्रा में जाने के लिए कैसा प्लान किया गया? गांधी plans the movement would start from Sabarmati Ashram to Dandi, sea coast of state Gujarat. The distance from Sabarmati Ashram to Dandi is 240 miles. He planned the movement would last 24 days. So he planned they would have to cover Delhi 10 miles. He planned to stop in the village where the night would end, and they would take rest on the night in that village. Gandhi planned to call the headmen of the village and people and preach peace and non-violence among them about Dandi Yatra. He requests the villagers to supply the necessary essential goods for them. Dandi March. Mahatma Gandhi started Dandi March on March 1930. महात्मा गांधी दांडी यात्रा 6 मार्च से 1930 से प्रारंभ किया. Mahatma Gandhi started his Dandi March on 6th March 1930 with 79 followers, 79 listed followers of Sabarmati Ashram and himself. They took rest where the day would end and night approach. And in the night, he called the peoples of the village and headmen and preached about peace and non-violence movement to Dandi. On the way, the followers of Gandhi goes on increasing. On the 11th day of his movement, Mahatma Gandhi wrote a letter to Lord Irwin. He would disobey Salt Act on 6th April 1930, 6:30 am. Lord Irwin did not give importance of his letter and did not meet him. At Dandi, his followers were about 100,000. On 6th April, after prayer, Gandhi took a lump of salty water and mud from the sea coast and evaporate the water to make salt. And the Salt Act was violated. Then he ordered the people to gather salt and evaporate salty water. Then he also ordered the people of all over India to gather salt and evaporate the salty water to make salt and use for themselves. A lump of salty mud which Mahatma Gandhi had gathered and water which he had evaporated was sold in 1,600 rupees. Then he sent Sarojini Naidu and Nyamurti Tayab ji to art, which was 10 miles away from Dandi, because he was on Mauna Brata. Many places of India, Salt Act was disobeyed and by the disciples of Mahatma Gandhi. Several places, many leaders were arrested and given penalties to them. Geographical background of India. India is surrounded by sea coast. भारत के बहुत जगह समुद्र के किनारे है. There is oceans in 3 directions of India. भारत के 3 दिशा पर समुद्र है. In east, Bay of Bengal and Prashant Mahasagar. In west, Arab Sagar, and in south, Hind Mahasagar or Indian Ocean. The water of lake, sea and oceans are salty. भारत के जो सागर महासागर है उसी का पानी नमकीन है. The coastal belt, people can gather salt or evaporate water, salty water, and can use salt for themselves. But the British government taxed over it. Causes of Dandi movement. In 1882, British government passed Salt Act and banned to gather salt and evaporate salty water and taxed over it. 1882 को ब्रिटिश सरकार सल्ट मौजूद करने के लिए आइन बना दी थी और जो भी उस पर सल्ट जमा करता है उसे वो टैक्स देना पड़ता था. इसलिए ये एक बड़ा कारण है दांडी मूवमेंट के लिए. महात्मा गांधी प्लानेड टू डिजोबे सल्ट एक्ट which was very essential. Mahatma Gandhi wanted to give second phase training to Indians. महात्मा गांधी कैसा पीस और नॉन वायलेंस वे से प्रोसीड किया जाता है, उसे इंडियन को ट्रेन करने के लिए दोबारा इच्छा प्रकाश कर रहे थे। महात्मा गांधी वांटेड टू गिव सेकेंड फेज ट्रेनिंग टू इंडियन about peace and non-violence way for sovereignty and self-rule government। भारत को कंप्लीट स्वाधीन देने के लिए इंडियन को पीसफुल और नॉन वायलेंस वे से कैसे जाना होगा, इसको सेकेंड बार ट्रेनिंग देने के लिए महात्मा गांधी चाहते थे। मेन एम ऑफ दांडी मूवमेंट। द मेन एम ऑफ दांडी मूवमेंट इज टू वेल ट्रेन द इंडियंस फॉर सॉवरेनिटी एंड सेल्फ रूल गवर्नमेंट और कंप्लीट इंडिपेंडेंस। दांडी यात्रा का मुख्य उद्देश्य है इंडियन सबको अच्छे से पीसफुल और नॉन वायलेंस वे से प्रोसीड करके कैसा पूर्ण स्वाधीनता भारत को दिला सकेगा, उसी का एक ट्रेनिंग था। सेकेंड एम ऑफ गांधी दांडी मूवमेंट। सेकेंड एम ऑफ दांडी मूवमेंट is to establish unity among people discriminating caste, creed, sex and religion। भारत के जो हिंदू, मुस्लिम, ईसाई थे, उसी सब के बीच एक अच्छे यूनिटी लाना उसका मुख्य उद्देश्य था। अबॉलिशिंग टचेबिलिटी फ्रॉम इंडिया। इंडिया में जो अस्पृश्यता का भावना था, ऊंच नीच का जो भेदभाव था, उसका दूरीकरण के लिए ये एक महान प्रयास था। इट इज द प्रिपरेशन फॉर सेल्फ गवर्नमेंट। Preparations or training for self-government. Result of Dandi movement. The unity established among Hindu and Muslim, irrespective of caste, creeds and sex among the people. दांडी यात्रा के कारण भारत के हिंदू और मुस्लिमों के बीच संगठन बना। In second phase training of Dandi movement, no violation of peace and non-violence is found among people। दांडी के द्वितीय फेज ट्रेनिंग में पीस और नॉन वायलेंस का किसी जगह उल्लंघन करने का देखने नहीं मिला। इसलिए ये सेकेंड फेज ट्रेनिंग में इंडिया का कंप्लीट ट्रेनिंग हुआ और ये कंप्लीट इंडिपेंडेंस के लिए प्रिपरेशन भी हो गया। इसके बाद हम कैसे कंप्लीट इंडिपेंडेंस के लिए आंदोलन के प्रस्ताव लाया गया और जानेंगे।